The Ultimate Marble League is back. 242 countries are competing for Season 2 victory. Here's a random fact of the day. Morocco has a world-famous kitchen known for their couscous and tangine. Alright, first race, Rivet Run. Here we go. If the marbles look like they're sped up for a bit, you'll be correct. Because otherwise this race would take up about 40 minutes. You'll see later in the video as of why. For now, it looks like Malawi is taking a humongous, enormous lead over the rest. Not if it's up to Australia. It was speeding through the yellow sector and into the blue sector, leaving Malawi way back. I see that the United Arab Emirates are close by. Oh no. Okay, they barely made it. They almost did not make it out of the blue sector. Now they are in the orange sector, having a great lead over the Emirates. Can anyone stop Australia? Well, I guess the only one who can stop Australia is Australia, going back up again. And there's Denmark out of nowhere. I see Georgia, Kyrgyzstan, and the Emirates. Ooh, what an amazing jump by Denmark. Blazing through the red sector and getting the victory done. With a lot of seconds to spare. Who's taking second place? It looks like it's going to be the Philippines. Bronze goes to the Emirates. I think fourth place going to Comoros. And we have Wallace and Fortuna. Congo and Samoa, our top 10 is in. Later in the video, we will showcase the entire finishing positions so you can take your time and watching where every marble has finished. Great finishes by India, Georgia, Solomon Islands, Ecuador, and it's really time for us to speed up the footage a bit more. We don't got all day, and you don't want to waste your time. So please stick around. Column 2 has been filled. Many marbles are making their way to the finish line. As you can see to your left, a bunch of marbles also fly back up. Rivet Run seems to be a difficult track for a bunch of our marbles. Something we did not anticipate beforehand. 4 columns have been filled. More marbles are finishing, luckily. 5 columns have been filled. There we go. This is speeding up really nicely. Six columns filled. We're almost there. I see Kyrgyzstan finishing. They were in contention of the lead for a little bit. I guess they ran into a few problems along the way. We're almost there. It is crazy the amount of marbles that we use in this race. That's why we're called the Ultimate Marble League. I see Brazil. There's Sweden, our last season champion. Only a few more marbles needing to finish. Oh, and I see that a marble has gone out of bounds. And they make it back. It does not look like it. Unfortunate. It looks like it's the Falkland Islands. Now we just wait for the remaining few more marbles. Then we can have the podium celebrations. And our new graphic. Great lead by Guyana. This season of the Ultimate Marble League will have 16 races compared to last season's 8. And even though your marble may not have finished all that well, there's still plenty of chances. And here you can see that there are even 2 marbles still stuck in the yellow sector. That is quite painful. See South Korea finishing, Algeria, Italy, Mongolia, there's Hong Kong, who was last place last season, not having an amazing first race so far, still 2 marbles in the yellow sector. Don't forget to subscribe to the Ultimate Marble League. We're aiming for a YouTube partner by the end of the year. We could use your support. We have Monaco. Now it's just waiting for the final few marbles to make it through the track. Let's check where they are. Still 2 marbles in the yellow sector. Oh my. This overview site will give us a better perspective of where the marbles are located right now. One marble almost fell back to the green sector. See, Armenia has finally finished. Every point may count. And a marble almost made it to the blue sector. No, they did make it through. Barely. They're speeding up a lot. Still 1 marble in the yellow sector. And they make it through. They're finally entering the blue sector. Still, another marble is falling back down. For a bunch of these marbles, they really want to start forgetting this race and start to move towards race 2. We are almost through it. Just a couple of finishes more. Two more marbles are in the run. Panama just finished. Now we just wait for Oman to finish. And let's skip a little bit ahead for the final marble, which is Slovenia. There's our finishing positions. Finally, our top 10: Denmark, Philippines, United Arab Emirates, Comoros, Wallis and Fortuna, North Korea, Maldives, Senegal, Congo, and Samoa. Denmark is the home of Lego, a worldwide favorite toy. It is true. Who doesn't know and like Lego? Here's our podium. Celebrate it together with me, please. United Arab Emirates, Philippines, and Denmark, while we are celebrating their podium under the national anthem of Denmark. And with that, the first race is under wraps. It's time to look at our current standings, which is the finishing positions of this race. Look at our new graphic, which showcase 50 marbles and countries in one page. Easier viewing, and it doesn't take as long for us to get through the scorings. How well did your marble do? Again, there are 16 races in total, so even if your marble did not finish that well this race, there's always 15 more. Alright, that's it for today. Thank you all for being here. See you all for race number 2. Welcome back to Season 2, Race 2 of the Ultimate Marble League. As above, so below. Let's check the current top 100 standings of the Ultimate Marble League, with Denmark leading over Philippines and United Arab Emirates. Here's a random fact of the day. Sierra Leone's scenic landscape span the Loma Mountains and Mount Bintumani to the Suwa River and the rainforest of Gola and Tivai Island. Alright, 242 marbles are ready. Let's get rumbling, shall we? Raid start from Palau and Costa Rica. Which marble is the one in the second sector first? It is France, together with Hong Kong, Saudi Arabia. It looks like Bulgaria is moving up really fast. Can anyone stop them? They're alone in the third sector right now. Maybe Saudi, maybe France. It is France and Samoa moving on to the upside down first. Here we go. Who can process the upside down the best? It is France so far, being alone in the penultimate sector. It looks like Iran is over there as well, together with Macau, Hong Kong. It is Hong Kong getting to the final sector first and immediately finishes it, getting the very first win and their very first really needed victory as well. Second place goes to Equatorial Guinea, and third goes to Sao Tome and Principe. I saw Chile finish, Bulgaria. A lot of marbles are making it through the final sector now. As much that our first column is officially filled. I see that there is a marble stuck in the final sector. Maybe they can launch themselves out, or maybe one of the marshals are able to push them back in. Who knows? It's a queue towards the finish. 5 columns filled. How well is your marble doing? Let us know which country you are supporting. A handful of marbles are still in the first sector, trying to make it through. Here we can see our top 10 finish, being Hong Kong, Equatorial Guinea, Sao Tome and Principe, Chile, Samoa, Bulgaria, Congo, Bahrain, Gibraltar, and Niue. We're getting into the end game of the race now. All the final marbles in. Speeding it up a little bit, even more. Final column is going to get filled now. A few disappointing finishes over here. Again, Slovenia having a bad finish. Finished by England and Myanmar. Tanzania, Liechtenstein. The final few are coming in. Three marbles remaining. Where the other one is. There seems to be one in the second sector. It doesn't look like there's one in the other ones. So we should have one DNF. Or maybe ran out of bounds. The last two marbles are struggling to finish. There goes the Swatini. And finally Honduras. These are our finishing positions. Great job by all the marbles. And let's celebrate the podium, shall we? All right, here we go. In third place, we have Sao Tome and Principe. Equatorial Guinea in second place. And victory, number 1 for Hong Kong. Amazing turnaround by the Marble of Hong Kong. Pretty bad season 1. An awful start to season 2. Is this the turnaround of Hong Kong? If so, it is an amazing start. And we wish them all the best. Alright, that was the anthem for Hong Kong. Here's a random fact of the day. Despite its urban density, Hong Kong has hundreds of islands and beaches alongside its iconic skyscrapers. Alright, what does this to our standings? We see now that Samoa is in the lead, a big jump by Bulgaria and Bahrain, France and Poland. Big jumps all around. In the second page, we see that Denmark and Transnistria, India and Turkmenistan dropped pretty much. Together with United Arab Emirates, fell down pretty bad. Nicely from Puerto Rico. At the very bottom we see Slovenia, which is not unsurprising. Hopefully they're able to turn it around. Alright. That is as above, so below. Race number 2 of 16 of the Ultimate Marble League Season 2. Hopefully we see each other for race number 3. Thank you all for watching. See you all next time. Goodbye. Alright, here we go. Race number 3, Season 2 of the Ultimate Marble League, back at Foundry Falls. Let's see how our marbles will fare, but first let's look at the standings. With Samoa in the lead of Republic of the Congo and Bulgaria. Great jumps by Hong Kong. And that is our top 100. Random fact of the day. Brazil is the largest producer of coffee and sugar canes in the world. Right, our marbles are ready for Foundry Falls. The track seems to be ready. The crowd is ready. Are you ready? Here we go. Foundry Falls, race number 3. Which marbles will do well? And the marbles are off. Great start by Germany. And it looks like it's Chad together with Samoa. Who's going to the bouncy section first? It looks like it's Chad. And Vanuatu close by. But they're all alone. Is anyone able to challenge them? The Jinkos are giving them a little bit of a hard time. Can they get through here? The bounces seem a little bit off, which gives other marbles time. Looks like Cape Verde is here, Saba. Liechtenstein? No, it's still Chad so far. With Saba, Liechtenstein, Faroe Islands close by. I see Burundi, I see Ethiopia. Ooh, bad bounce from Chad. Ooh, an insane bounce from Liechtenstein. Can they take it over? With Cape Verde in third. Who's taking this? And there's Liechtenstein and South Korea in second. Who's getting third? It is Cape Verde. Chad in fourth, Ethiopia in fifth. Great finish by Micronesia. Good finishes by Germany and our champion Sweden. See a couple of marbles failing the foundry jump, and it's kind of a queue in the upside down sides. Although the gears are helping the marbles to keep moving. We install a few extra gears to help the marbles out a little bit. The queue seems almost resolved, with a lot of marbles making it through the gravity section. It's almost cleared up, with a couple of marbles still having an issue. Finishes by Montenegro, Estonia, Kuwait, Russia, Zimbabwe, France and Wales. France can't replicate their previous good finish, but still has a decent amount of points here. I see the Faroe Islands falling down here. A bunch of marbles really having to go through the entire track once more. Definitely the downside of Foundry Falls. If you do mess up the jump, oof, it's gonna cost you a lot of points. Could even lose you the championship at the long run. I think it's a good time to speed up the footage a little bit so we can get through it a little bit faster. Malawi, Nepal, Timor-Leste, Bosnia. Marbles are finishing faster than we can pronounce them, which is a good thing. Ooh, I see probably the Faroe Islands being stuck up there. And there went Hong Kong. Not a great finish this time around. Hopefully that victory of the last race was not a fluke. It looks like Algeria is very stuck in the upside down section, in the gravity section. Navigating is very difficult, so let's skip ahead since they're the final marble to finish. And there they are. Don't want to waste 15 minutes of your time. Alright, these are our finishing positions. How well did your marble do? Great finish by Saba, Bonaire, Burundi, Micronesia, Namibia, Ethiopia, Chad. And with that, our podium finishers. Let's celebrate them together. In third position, we have Cape Verde. Second position, South Korea. And first position, Liechtenstein. While we celebrate this under the national anthem of Liechtenstein. Did you know that Liechtenstein's national anthem uses the same notes as the British national anthem? Right, here's our final fact of the day from Liechtenstein. Liechtenstein is one of only 2 doubly landlocked countries worldwide, along with Uzbekistan. And with that, here's our standings. In the first position we have Chad, leading over Mali and Togo and Senegal and Afghanistan. Great jumps by Cape Verde. Also great jump by Liechtenstein, who jumps up 135 places. That's a lot, even for us. Further, we find a big jump by South Korea, Uruguay, North Macedonia, Trinidad and Tobago. And nearing the end, we see a lot of marbles dropping down, like the Netherlands, Laos, Hong Kong. At the very last place, we see Myanmar, Mongolia, and Algeria. Oof. They're not having the best day. Right. That was Foundry Falls, race number 3. Thank you all for watching. See you all for race number 4. Welcome back to the Ultimate Marble League. Let's check their standings after race number 3. We see that Chad is leading over Mali and Togo. Big jumps from Afghanistan, Bonaire, Anguilla, Saba, Greece, Cape Verde, Thailand, El Salvador, and Germany. The other side of our top 100, we see big jumps from Liechtenstein, Jordan, Lithuania, Nigeria, Gambia, Ethiopia, Guam, Namibia, Macau, Czech Republic, and Turkey. Here's our country fact of the day. France has more UNESCO World Heritage Sites than any other European country, spanning medieval towns, vineyards, and iconic landmarks. Alright, race number 4, Red Race. Very first track we've ever created. It's very large, a lot of ways to overtake, but also difficult to keep track of the marbles. We see that Sri Lanka is in the lead with El Salvador. Looks Anguilla and Colombia is over there. I see Kazakhstan and Nui. Russia. Ooh, big jump by Nigeria. Which of the marbles can take it? It looks like Colombia is making some headway. Is that Albania or maybe Trinidad and Tobago? Trinidad and Tobago won Red Race back in Season 1. Many marbles are going everywhere. Marbles flying all around. Taking different paths. Which path is the fastest and which marble will it be? Let's see if we can keep track of it. It looks like it's Gabon. Jamaica flying over Gabon. Egypt not too far behind. I see Myanmar. It is a little bit difficult to keep track of the marbles due to the enormous size of the track. But I don't know. That gives Rat Race some flair too. Looks like the Bahamas is now taking over the lead. Burundi is close by. St. Vincent and the Grenadines. The longest straight currently of the Ultimate Marble League. A way to get maximum power, maximum speed. A few bounces, but no. The Bahamas is still taking it and slowly extending the lead, but this bounce is crucial. Who's taking it? Oof. Burundi has a nice bounce, but gets dragged away by the rest. Maybe it's Belize, Trinidad and Tobago maybe. San Marino. Go either way, it's Cyprus. Cyprus and Kuwait. A lot of the other marbles are following close by. These bounces are important. Cyprus and Kuwait is going head to head. Nearing the final stages of the track. And out of nowhere, it's Trinidad and Tobago. Are they going to win this race too? It'll be their third victory. The second of the season. And oh my lord! They win in Rat Race back to back. This track must really suit Trinidad and Tobago. Very skillfully done. Here we can see all of the marbles. A little bit of a train going at the back. Let's check the finishing results. Oof. There seems to be an issue with the finishing position, that not all the marbles are being tracked. We'll make sure that by the time all the marbles have finished, tracking is accurate. Sorry for the inconvenience. It is safe to say that our top 10 finishing is Jamaica in 10th, 9th Burundi, 8th Sudan, 7th Congo, 6th Yemen, 5th US Virgin Islands, 4th Panama, 3rd by San Marino, 2nd by Myanmar, and first place finisher Trinidad and Tobago. Only a couple marbles more needing to finish. Let's check whether a few of them are DNF'd. I see indeed Wallace and Fortuna has DNF'd. And the other marbles we can't really find, so they must have flown off the track. These are our finishing positions. While the national anthem of Trinidad and Tobago is playing. An anthem we've heard before, and we may hear once again in the future. But so far, let's congratulate San Marino, Myanmar, and once again, for the third time in the Ultimate Marble League, Trinidad and Tobago. Absolutely wonderful job, and can anyone stop Trinidad and Tobago? Seem to be masters at marble racing. So who's gonna stop them? Here's a nice fact from Trinidad and Tobago. The country is the birthplace of steel pan and calypso, musical traditions that shape its lively cultural identity. Right, these are our current results, with Tajikistan now in first, leading over Togo, Afghanistan. Great jumps by Cameroon, Ghana, Kuwait, Niue, Trinidad and Tobago, of course, Yemen, Micronesia, Guam, Nigeria, Gambia, Turkey, and Sri Lanka. On the other pages, we see big jumps by Nauru, Jamaica, Croatia, US Virgin Isles, Burundi, Curacao, Kazakhstan, San Marino, Luxembourg, Guyana, Angola, and Saudi Arabia. On page 3, we see big jumps from Cyprus, Georgia, Bhutan, Belgium, Japan, and to the second to last page, big jumps by St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Panama. At the bottom, we unfortunately still see Mongolia, Benin, Nepal, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Madagascar. And that's it for today. Race number 4. See you soon for race number 5. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Welcome back to the Ultimate Marble League Race 5 Season 2 to Topsy Turvy. Let's check out our top 100. Tajikistan in the lead, and great jumps from all marbles all around, including Trinidad and Tobago. Our top 100 leads all the way up to Romania and 100th, but everything can change in Topsy Turvy. Here's a random fact of the day. Did you know that Finland has more saunas than cars? I do like a sauna once in a while. Right, here we go. Marbles are going crazy, and they are off. Great start by Russia. Oh my, look at that. A few marbles flying in hot. I see Greenland, Grenada, and about 20,000 marbles in phase 2 right now. South Ossetia I see over there. Romania. Too many to count. It's going too quick to follow. Man, these marbles are flying. Is Kazakhstan getting it? No, not Kazakhstan. It is South Ossetia. That is a fast finish by South Ossetia. Very efficient. Which marbles will round up the podium? Is Faroe Islands and Scotland. So the downside of Topsy-Turvy with this many marbles is, of course, it's gonna take a little while before all of them finish. Not to worry though, we're gonna make sure this is not going to take too long. And you can have a great view here of all the marbles flying up and down, while the tracker down there is tracking which marbles are finishing. So you're up to date all the time. Marbles like Switzerland, Sierra Leone, Cyprus, Costa Rica, Senegal, Gabon, Palau, Kyrgyzstan, Bahamas. Already 5 columns filled. I do feel every time the marbles come back to Topsy-Turvy, they get a little bit better at finishing, which is very important, as accuracy and speed is, as you can see by South Ossetia, one of the most crucial things you could do at Topsy-Turvy. That said, we're definitely halfway there already. Good job by all the marbles. Some crucial points are on the table here. Look at them go. See Uzbekistan, Montserrat, Tunisia. There goes Norway. DR Congo, Pakistan, San Marino, Walls, and Fortuna. Ooh, DNF last race and really need some points here. Had a great start of the season, but it's falling apart a little bit. Luckily, there are many more races to recuperate. There's no real team yet destined to win Season 2. It could go either way. Marbles can definitely afford a bad finish, or maybe even two. But consistency is always the best thing to do, as we saw in Season 1. With some of the top 10 not even finishing on the podium all season long. We're almost at the end. All marbles are in the final section right now. See Nepal, Serbia, Lesotho, Luxembourg finishing over here. I do notice the tracker is not calibrated perfectly. A couple of marbles sometimes finish without being tracked by that, but as long as they are placed in the correct position when we showcase all of the marbles, it should not make any difference. We make sure all the points are allocated correctly and the standings showed. It's accurate to the dot. Only a couple more marbles to finish. I see Solemn Diamonds scrapping a few of the final points. There's Nicaragua. The marble just misses the finish line. A few valuable points are still up for grabs here. You don't want to miss out on the championship just by 1 point. Four more marbles to go. And then we're able to showcase all the marbles and their points. Of course, we have the podium celebrations. There's Kuwait. Not as good as a finish this time around. More marble to go. Which makes no DNFs for this race. And there we go. These are our finishing positions for race number 5, Topsy Turvy. How well did your marble do? With that, we have our world fact of the day. South Ossetia lies in the beautiful Caucasus Mountains, known for dramatic scenery and high peaks. Alrighty, it's time to celebrate the podium. Join hands with me as we celebrate in 3rd position Scotland, 2nd position Faroe Islands, and 1st position South Ossetia. All right. What does this to the standings of the Ultimate Marble League Season 2? Well, it shows that Tajikistan keeps its first place together with Afghanistan keeping it third place, but now Colombia's in the top 3. Big jumps all around from Aruba, Republic of the Congo, Nauru, Egypt, Albania, Iran, Sabah, Abkhazia, Finland, Canada, Ethiopia, and Jordan. On page 2, we see big jumps from Kazakhstan, Cocos Island. Further down, we see Panama, Suriname, Kenya, Cambodia, Netherlands. A little further down, we see Scotland, South Sudan, British Virgin Isles. And at the bottom, we see Nepal, Mongolia, Madagascar, and Belarus. I think their season is good as over. Alright, that is Topsy-Turvy, race number 5, season 2 of the Ultimate Marble League. Thank you so much for your support. We'll be back soon enough with race number 6. That's it for today. Thank you and bye-bye. Welcome back to race number 6, a familiar track at the Ultimate Marble League, Chaos Shoot. Let's look at the standings, with Tajikistan, Colombia, Afghanistan being the top 3. Trinidad and Tobago getting in there in the top 10. Jumps everywhere around. Up until 100th place, Tuvalu. Let's check our random fact of the day. Belgium is widely believed to be the birthplace of French fries. Today, fries are a big part of Belgian culture and are traditionally served with paper cones and with mayonnaise. Right, the marbles are ready. The track is ready. Who can win at Chaos Shoot? A couple of marbles have a great start, but there come the rest. Difficult to see which marble gets the best shot. Burkina Faso is doing great. Vietnam is doing good. Which marble gets into the shoot first? Looks like it's Andorra. Or is it Moldova? Gets a shot at it. Immediately gets it, but bounces back out. It's Trinidad and Tobago. I cannot believe it. There's Brazil and Switzerland. Uzbekistan. Another great finish by Afghanistan. Hong Kong and Belarus. And now for the other marbles, it's time to go back up and try again. You've seen this race before. It requires absolute precision, accuracy, and guts. I'm sure Afghanistan and Trinidad and Tobago are gonna lead the standings after this race. Keep being very consistent. Scarily consistent. Four columns full. You can see accuracy, one of the most important things of Chaos Shoot. Five columns full. Halfway there. Six columns full, and probably a good time to speed things up. Almost 200 marbles have finished. There we go. Only the final few. It's time for the final column. This one generally takes the longest. I see Sweden stuck up there. Difficult to spot. They're up there. They cannot replicate their first season. Only a couple more. There's Greece and Tunisia. Ooh. 2 more marbles to finish. 5 DNFs. That's painful. Mexico and Vietnam. Vietnam, who started off amazingly but couldn't get the finish. At least we know there's still a couple of points for these marbles on the table. And will Vietnam hit the finish? And there it is. It's gonna be... Get used to this anthem because Trinidad and Tobago wins again. Our top 10 being Burkina Faso, Hong Kong, Belarus, San Marino, who finishes off very well again, Afghanistan, Greenland, Uzbekistan, Switzerland, Brazil, and Trinidad and Tobago. And with those final 3, let's move on to the random fact of the day. Trinidad and Tobago is one of the most biodiverse countries in the Caribbean, with hundreds of bird species and tropical wildlife. This makes it a popular destination for nature lovers and bird watchers. Alright, here's our podium: Switzerland, Brazil, and Trinidad and Tobago. Well, this will surely shake up the standings. I'm curious to see what our top marbles are. To no one's surprise, it's Trinidad and Tobago first and Afghanistan in second. Look at the gap to the other marbles. It is crazy. Big jumps by Albania, Iran, Angola, Burkina Faso, Isle of Man, Andorra, Uzbekistan, Sierra Leone, and Botswana. On the second page, we see big jumps from Bahrain, Faroe Islands, San Marino, Switzerland, Saudi Arabia, Bahamas, Saint Martin, Hong Kong, Scotland, Belgium, and the Netherlands. In the mid-pack, we see jumps from Venezuela, Belize, Vatican City, Monaco, Kyrgyzstan, Zimbabwe, Uruguay, Somaliland, and Liberia. Around the top 200, we see jumps from Malaysia, Peru, Montenegro, Greenland, England, Slovenia, Algeria, and at the bottom we still see Mongolia, Nepal, Madagascar. We do see big jumps from Western Sahara, Serbia, Mozambique, and Mozambique. Alright, thank you everybody for being here for race number 6. We'll be back for race number 7. Can anyone stop our top 2 contenders? Gonna find out. Still plenty of more races to come. See you later. Nice. It's race number 7, the Ultimate Marble League. Let's check our standings. Trinidad and Tobago is in the lead. Afghanistan is close by and has a gap over all the rest. All the way up to spot 100, the Netherlands. Right, here's our random fact of the day. South Africa does not have an official national language. Zulu takes the biscuit as the most widely spoken language in the country. Xhosa is close behind, followed by Afrikaans. Alrighty. The cube. The marbles are ready. Track is ready. High-speed track. The cube makes tracking the marbles a bit difficult. But oh my lord, the marbles do go very fast in here with Zimbabwe in an amazing lead. Look at all the marbles go, trying to take the first gravity switch. A few marbles fall down and have to go back. That is painful for their points. In the lead now goes Micronesia with Aruba following close by. Who's taking the lead after this corner? It is still Micronesia, or it might be Taiwan. It is probably Taiwan. Taiwan is too fast for us to track. Oh my. Who's gonna stop him? Anyone able to stop him? I see San Marino over there, Bolivia. San Marino taking another good finish over here. No, it is still, and it is San Marino. San Marino taking the lead with Bolivia close by. Israel is taking over with Micronesia and Bolivia close by. Only a few more corners to go. It's St. Lucia, it's Argentina, it's Israel. Who is gonna take it? It looks like it's St. Lucia, but the corner was horrible. Now Bolivia is in the lead with the Maldives and Israel close by. Who's taking it? It looks like it's the Maldives. Let's quickly go to the finish. It is Maldives. Germany second, out of nowhere. Bolivia third. El Salvador fourth. St. Lucia fifth. Tokelau sixth. 7th for Taiwan, 8th for Australia, 9th for Norfolk Island, and 10th for Israel. 4 columns filled, a lot of marbles are finishing. It's a short, quick, but difficult track. And even the finish line seems to be a little bit difficult for a bunch of countries. I don't know how that's possible. It's like a queue at the end. Where's the rest? Oh, here comes another wave of marbles. Doing a great job. Still a lot of marbles to finish. This should be an easy track for all marbles to finish. DNFs aren't really that possible. So we just have to stick around and wait for them. There's Spain, Jersey, DR Congo, Gabon, Slovenia. It's Panama, Azerbaijan, US, Virgin Isles, Zambia, and Portugal. We're waiting for the remainders. There's Haiti, Marshall Islands, China and Benin, Cocos Islands. Let's check where all the marbles are. I still see a couple of marbles all the way to the beginning. For some reason, their exits have not been great. That's going to be a painful race for them, let's be real. But they will make it back down to the finish eventually. The cube giveth and the cube taketh. It's a nice view to see all the marbles racing against gravity over here. It's just very painful if you have to go all the way back. I see Ghana, Kenya, and South Sudan finished. almost at the final column. The crowd is staying enthusiastic, which we're very thankful for. There comes a couple more, Comoros and Tunisia. Just gotta wait for the final few to land to finish the American Samoa. Here come Laos, Cuba jumping over Lesotho at the finish line. Honduras and Jamaica. There's Nigeria. Brazil, who cannot replicate their previous awesome finish. Same with Liechtenstein. There's Greece. It looks like there goes Luxembourg. A couple more. They should be coming in any minute now. There goes Grenada. And is that Guam? That is Guam. There goes Finland. Wasting precious points, these marbles are. If they want to take a shot at the title, they need to beat Trinidad and Tobago, who, again, had a great finish. Another bad finish by Algeria. Transnistria, and 4 more marbles remain. Here we go. It's Mexico. Another bad finish by Mexico, unfortunately. It's not their season. Looks like it's the Dominican Republic over here. There goes Lithuania. And finally, the very last marble to finish is, I think that's Puerto Rico. It is Puerto Rico. Alright, these are the finishing positions of all the marbles. Take a good look at them, find your marble. I know it can be difficult with this many marbles, but hey, that's also a charm, right? Having this many marbles attract at once. Great job. Here's a random fact of the day about the Maldives. Maldives is the world's lowest and flattest nation, with an average ground level elevation of just 1.5 meters. I had no idea. Alright, let's celebrate our podium. We mentioned it before, it's Bolivia in 3rd, Germany in 2nd, and of course, 1st place and victors are the Maldives. Wonderful job. So what does this to our standings? Well, it means that Trinidad and Tobago is still in the lead. El Salvador jumped up to 2nd. Colombia is maintaining 3rd. And now Maldives is in 4th. They really took that victory to heart. Otherwise, we see big jumps from Taiwan, from Brunei, from the Bahamas, Palau, and Bolivia. On the 2nd page, we see big jumps from Sri Lanka, St. Lucia, Germany, of course, Venezuela, Netherlands, Vatican City, Argentina, Suriname, Solomon Islands, Japan, United States of America, and Kuwait. In the mid-pack, we see jumps from Djibouti, Malaysia, Macau, Liberia, Tokelau, Uganda, Pakistan, and Croatia. On the penultimate page, we see jumps from New Caledonia, Iceland, Western Sahara, Eswatini, Cayman Islands, Falkland Islands, and Moldova. And at the final page, we still see Nepal, Mexico, and Mongolia. They keep switching the positions around, but they keep staying at the bottom. Their season is pretty much wrapped up. And that is race number 7, the Cube. Thank you so much for watching and all of your support. We'll be back soon enough with race number 8. Anything can happen. See you there. Race number 8 of the Ultimate Marble League Season 2, Digging Down. Possibly the final time we're gonna see this track. We see that Trinidad and Tobago is in the lead, El Salvador in second, and all the way up into top 100 or place 100, Jamaica. Many marbles still have a chance. It's gonna take it. Alright. The random fact of the day. In Muscat, the capital of Oman, you can find the Mutra Souk, the oldest markers in Muscat and one of the oldest in the world. Alright, Digging Down. We mentioned that this is probably the last time we're gonna see Digging Down, and that's mostly because of how dangerous the track is for our marbles. The tunnels sometimes move and make marbles get stuck, which makes this a very hazardous terrain to have marble races in. So it's possible from Season 3 or maybe even the Premier League that Digging Down will not be available. You have to look at a different similar type of track to replace it. Alright, let's go back to the race where we see that Oman is actually in the lead with Somaliland close by. Marbles already through the second sector. Third sector is coming in. Which of the marbles are able to make it through first? It still looks like it's Oman with Cook Islands close by. And who goes there? Is that American Samoa? Is that Russia maybe? Maybe Slovenia? It looks like it's Russia. But for now it's still between Oman and the Cook Islands. I see Liberia in there. Macau. A bunch of marbles still have a chance. It could go all ways. But which one is taking the victory over here? It looked like it's Honduras, Oman, Cook Islands maybe. I see Jamaica, Somalia on the way to the left trying to take the lead. Look, it's between Somalia and Cook Islands. Somalia, Cook Islands, who's gonna take it? It is Cook Islands. Good job, Cook Islands. Somalia in second, Curacao in third. Fourth goes to Honduras, fifth Panama, sixth St. Vincent and the Grenadines, seventh Australia, eighth Oman, 9 Palestine, and 10th Tokelau. Good job to all the marbles. These are some precious points I can see. If any of these teams want to stand a chance to win the title, these are the finishes that they need to have. Although I do see in 25th, there's Afghanistan. They are a top contender and they're scoring a lot of points here. Alright, let's go. Look at all these marbles. Many have finished already. Over 200 have found the finish line. I see a not so good finish by Trinidad and Tobago, who might even lose their lead right now. Which is impossible to think after winning 2 races. 3 more marbles ready to finish. There goes Peru. And there's Denmark. Is there maybe a marble who didn't finish? Ah, yes, it's Bhutan. Unfortunate. Well, these are our finishing positions. Look for your marble. I here the podium celebrations is starting. So while we take a final look at the standings over here, we hear that the podium celebrations have begun. So let's quickly move towards it and celebrate the podium. In third place, we have Curaçao. Second place with Somalia. And first position with the Cook Islands. A very blue podium. And as always, with every single race, the thing that we look for the most, what does this to the current standings? Well, the celebrations are still going and the champagne is popping. Let's check out the standings. Now with Afghanistan in first and Trinidad and Tobago demoted to second, we see big jumps from Bahrain, Australia, Curaçao, Egypt, Malta, and of course Venezuela. At the second page, we see big jumps from Switzerland, Argentina, India, Kuwait, Palestine, Malaysia, Cambodia, Djibouti, Tokelau, DR Congo, Eritrea, St. Martin, Indonesia, Kyrgyzstan, Pakistan, Abkhazia, Cocos Islands, Sweden, Kenya, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, and New Zealand. Oof, many jumps. The mid-pack did some good work over here. At the third page, we see jumps from Singapore, Gabon, Nigeria, Somaliland, Syria, Mauritania, Estonia, Panama has a big jump, Luxembourg, Swatini, Ecuador, Somalia, Central African Republic, Paraguay, American Samoa, and our winners Cook Islands. At the penultimate page, we see jumps from Georgia, Italy, Serbia, Ivory Coast, Oman, French Polynesia, Wales, Lesotho, Guatemala, Mozambique, Lebanon, Namibia, and Russia. And all the way at the bottom, we still see Mongolia, Mexico, and Nepal. Jumps from Belarus and Honduras. Alright, that is digging down for you. Thank you so much for your support. Watching race number 8. We'll be back with race number 9, and we've officially crossed the 50% marker. Thank you so much, and bye-bye. Welcome back to the Ultimate Marble League, race number 9, Beat Ball Boogie. Before we start, we have to look at the current standings. Afghanistan is in first, Trinidad and Tobago in second, El Salvador in third. These are your standings all the way up to spot 100, Marshall Islands. Let's get going. But before we start, here's our random fact of the day. Mongolia is the world's least dense populated country, featuring a vast nomadic culture where horses outnumber people. Alright, Beat Ball Boogie. Hit the switch blocks, go back up. Hit the spinners, go back down. Which marble is the fastest? I saw Serbia going really fast with Hungary, Uganda, Liberia, Kyrgyzstan, Germany, Tanzania. Oh my. This is the fastest decline I've ever seen. Which of the marbles can even get to the end? It's Belize, East Timor, Lithuania maybe? Looking like it's Belize. Belize, Gabon, Colombia, Montenegro, Burundi, Oman. It could go either way. Oh, this looks like it's going to be Oman. Spain behind there? No. Morocco, Uruguay, Azerbaijan, Montenegro. I can't believe it. This is so fast. It is Azerbaijan. In second we have Panama. Third Montenegro. Fourth Luxembourg. Fifth Myanmar. Sixth Mauritius. 7th, Western Sahara. 8th, Somalia. 9th, Belize. 10th, Morocco. Good job to all the marbles. Yeah, Speedball Boogie, a very fast track. Very fast finish. Which is also nice, not having to wait a couple of minutes before every marble has finished. Not an amazing finish by Trinidad and Tobago, but it could be enough to take back the lead. We have to look at its direct competitors. Where are they? We almost have 6 columns filled, which is not a surprise with how many marbles are finishing now. Some of them do hit the switch blocks and go back up, but some of them manage to hit the spinner blocks. Some of them hit the blue spinners and they go back down. It's not that complicated, but it does require a big finesse. Almost 200 marbles have finished already, making this one of the fastest races we have on the calendar. We're almost at the final column. Which marbles are going to get some points? I do see Greece being stuck there. They may have been pushed all the way down, even though their gravity is set to reverse. Maybe the other marbles can help them out a little bit. I see a bunch of them trying. I think the Netherlands helped them and Guyana helped them. Good job. That means at least a few more points for Greece. It's more than nothing. Only 4 more marbles to finish. We have Russia over here. I see Tonga. Is that El Salvador? Looks like it. And there goes Albania. So Albania is here. El Salvador is here. And now we just wait for Tonga. There we go. These are our finishing positions. All the marbles have finished. No DNFs. Congratulations to all the marbles. This will surely shake up the standings once again. Is there a new championship leader? Which marbles jumped up and which marbles jumped down? But before that, we also have our second random fact of today of our winner, Azerbaijan. Azerbaijan's capital Baku holds the world's largest collection of 2mm sized books. What a very niche fact that is. Podium of Montenegro, Panama, and of course Azerbaijan. May have forgotten to put in the random fact of the day of the winner in, so I need to edit some stuff. Alright, it's time for our standings. Which country is on top? That would be Trinidad and Tobago once more, with Colombia in second and now Norfolk Island in third. Big jumps from Isle of Man, Uzbekistan, Scotland, St. Lucia, Palestine, Argentina, Equatorial Guinea, Sri Lanka, Seychelles, Transnistria, and Dominica. We're all the way up to 40th with 1 race difference of points. That's scary for everybody who's below that. Alright, on page 2, we see that Belize has jumped up Marshall Islands, Sweden, Kyrgyzstan, Abkhazia, Panama, Armenia, Fiji, Singapore, Luxembourg, Morocco, Gibraltar, Hong Kong, Solomon Islands, Uganda, North Korea, Somalia, and Central African Republic. Alright, on page 3 we see Paraguay, Northern Cyprus, Cook Islands, Ecuador, North Macedonia, Zimbabwe, Azerbaijan, Oman, China, Western Sahara, Ireland, Montenegro, Timor-Leste, St. Kitts and Nevis, Malawi, Turks and Caicos Islands, Belgium, Canada, and Uruguay. If we look further down, we see jumps from Mauritius, Burundi, Tanzania, Moldova, Myanmar, Thailand, Falkland Islands, Spain, and Haiti. And at the final page, we still see Mongolia, Mexico, Nepal at the very bottom, and small jumps from Ukraine, Benin, South Sudan, Slovenia, and South Africa. Alright, that's it for today. Thank you so much for being here for race number 9. We're making good time on the Ultimate Marble League Season 2. Which of the teams do you think is going to win Season 2? Make sure you comment it down below. Race number 10 of Season 2 of the Ultimate Marble League is here. Let's look at our standings. With Trinidad and Tobago leading over Colombia and Norfolk Island, although the top 10 is relatively close, and the top 40 only having one race victory in between. This could go all directions still. As always, here's our random fact of the day. Guatemala has over 30 volcanoes, with only 3 having active volcano status: Fuego, Santiaguito, and Pacaya. Hiking Pacaya is among one of the most popular activities of visitors to the country. Alright, race number 10, Ripple Ridge. Interesting track with lots of twists and turns and a shootout at the end. Which country will be the best at Ripple Ridge? Well, Libya has an insane lead at the start. There are a couple of marbles trying to catch up with them, like Australia over here and Thailand. But who is the one who's getting into the first shoot first? Because this is the best way to get a distance from the rest. It could be a lot of marbles, but it is Morocco and Libya, Uganda, Kyrgyzstan, and I think I see Mexico over there. Uganda gets it, but bounces backwards. Kyrgyzstan maybe? Does the bounce correctly, but Libya takes over right before, and there's American Samoa in the top 3 so far. There's Zambia. I see Armenia. Kyrgyzstan is doing a great job getting back to their form of the previous season. American Samoa is on their tail. They can still take it over, but Kyrgyzstan is comfortably in the lead. Navigating through the pachinkos and into the teleporter towards the cannon chute. They get the first chance and they get there. Zambia, American Samoa, Armenia, Portugal are also all in the final section. I see Uganda is kind of blocking the cannon. Oof, and with that tactic it almost finished first. Kind of a cheeky way to do that. But who else will get the finish? It is Mongolia. Congratulations to Mongolia. Second place to Norway. Third place to Armenia. Fourth to Portugal. Fifth to the United Arab Emirates. Sixth to Northern Ireland. Seventh Brunei. Eighth Iran. Ninth Kenya. 10th to Kyrgyzstan. Good job to all the marbles. Impressive finish by Mongolia, who has been mostly on the final page for the entirety of this competition. Who would expect them to win a race? It's probably not enough to compete for the championship. They at least have a gold trophy to bring back home. Alright, marbles are slowly finishing, with 30 of them finished right now. There's kind of a queue going on, which will get better over time. And as I say that, we already hit the 50 finish mark. With a lot of marbles finishing here and there. Scrapping some very important points for the championship. And if I look around, I do see San Marino in there, which is one of the front runners. Very good job. Is there any other marble we can spot that did a great finish? Not at first sight, but who knows? It's difficult to remember the current standings of all time. But with that, the 6th column has been filled, and marbles are making good headway to get some points. 150 is down. See Sweden in there. Not a great finish this time around. That was a lot of marbles missing the finish. That could prove very costly. But here and there we do see marbles nailing the finish pretty clearly. And bagging at least a bunch of points with them. If you don't win this season of the Ultimate Marble League, you at least want to show that you've tried, right? I think Mongolia did a really great job at that. Okay, we're filling the final column right now. Gonna be painful for these marbles, but at least they still bring home a couple of points. They might be crucial at the end. But still, it feels bad. We may have a DNF somewhere. As I see, we only have 3 more marble finishing. And 2 more marbles flying. Oh, scratch that. 1 more marble flying. And there we go. I see Denmark did not finish. That is painful. Right. Let's look at our current standings, at their finishing positions. Good job. And with that, we already hear the national anthem playing, so let's move over to our random fact of the day of our winning country, Mongolia. Nadam is a sports festival held every year across Mongolia. It's often called the country's Olympics because it brings together the biggest traditional competitions and the whole nation celebrates together. That is cool, I had no idea. Alright, let's celebrate our podium. In 3rd position, we have Armenia. In the 2nd position, we have Norway. And in 3rd position, we have Mongolia. 3 countries with the colors red and blue in them. A very pretty podium. Alright, while the celebrations are still going, let's check the current standings with Norfolk Island in 1st, Maldives jumped up to 2nd, and Tajikistan finishes up the podium right now. Big jumps by Egypt, Sabah, Iran, US Virgin Isles, Brunei, Armenia, Rwanda, Malaysia, Kyrgyzstan, Abkhazia, Singapore, and Indonesia. Further down, we see big jumps from Somalia, North Korea, Senegal, DR Congo, Portugal, United Arab Emirates, Gambia, Tonga, Ethiopia, Kenya, China, Northern Ireland, and Cyprus. In the mid-pack, we see jumps from Poland, Uruguay, Burundi, Croatia, Jersey, Wales, St. Kitts and Nevis, Macau, Malawi, Norway, Sint Maarten, Austria, Monaco, Chile, Myanmar, and Lesotho. Further down, we see big jumps from New Caledonia, Guyana, Ivory Coast, Latvia, Falkland Islands, Benin, South Korea, Cayman Islands, Guatemala, Haiti, Qatar, Ukraine, and Kosovo. And at the final page, we see jumps from Slovakia, Vanuatu, Barbados, and of course, Mongolia. Mexico, Puerto Rico, and Nepal are the bottom three. Alright, thank you so much for being here for race number 10. We're nearing the end of our Season 2 competition. This could still go all directions, but who do you think is going to win Season 2? Make sure to leave it in the comments. Thank you for your support. See you for race number 11.
Hello and welcome back to race number 11 of the Ultimate Marble League, Copper Canyon. We're nearing the end of our tournament, but before we do that, let's check our current standings, with Norfolk Island leading over Maldives and Tajikistan. All the way up to place number 100, Cyprus. Any of these marbles have still a chance of winning. Of course, we cannot forget our random fact of the day. Pakistan hosts the second tallest mountain in the world, the K2. Alright, here we are, Copper Canyon. Which of our country marbles can beat the defender? We're gonna find out in just a few minutes. The marbles are ready, the track is ready, and they are off. It looks like Greenland has taken the best route, with Monaco, Cyprus in there. I think that's Guinea as well. Ooh, it's Norfolk Island in first. That is very crucial for them. Since they're top of the standings, Portugal is following close by. I see Tunisia over there, Colombia. It's all about this exit. This exit is crucial. It can make or break your race. How's the exit? They nailed it. Oh, it's Hong Kong. Greenland is in there, Macau is in there. Now it's the upside down, gravity reversed section through the pachinkos, all around the track of Copper Canyon. And after that, it's time to go back down. See, Kosovo is in there, St. Lucia, Transnistria. Ooh, one of the marbles went really fast. Which one is that? It's difficult to spot, they're so fast. St. Lucia's doing great. United Arab Emirates are doing great. Transnistria is in the lead right now. The Emirates, Turkmenistan. You could go all directions, but who can defeat the defender? They want no marble to finish this race. It is doing a great job. Oh, it's Sweden! Sweden gets through. Good job by Sweden, our last season's champions. Turkey in second, Comoros in third, Malta in fourth, St. Martin in fifth, sixth goes to Venezuela, seventh to Suriname, eighth to India, ninth to Cyprus, and 10th to St. Lucia. And now comes the trickiest part. Which marbles in the queue can beat the defender right now? Some of them are managing to get past, but our defender has been tweaked to the max. It's not letting any marble get a pass. Although a couple of them go through, still a big job for our marbles to get past. Even so, we have filled 4 columns of marbles so far. There's a bunch of marbles still needing to get past. This could cost precious points in the long run, so it's crucial to get past real fast. Some marbles find a way to get over the defender, which is a great tactic, but difficult to execute. You can see it here and there. Oof, the defender is going wild. It's rampaging. marbles are in between two spinners now. They're having a difficulty getting by, but a couple of them manage it. Including Greenland and Turkmenistan, who were at the front at some point. We're over halfway there. Can the marbles get by? This defender's taking no prisoners. I'm sure a couple of marbles will have headaches after today's race. Luckily our medical staff is prepared and ready to save our marbles. Only a couple more needing to get through. Great tactic by Gibraltar, leaping over the defender. There goes Trinidad and Tobago, who is having a difficult second half of the season after being unstoppable in the first half. They're having similar issues last season as well. Starting great, finishing not so great. Can they pick it back up near the end of this season? Alright, I think our defender's getting tired. More and more marbles are finishing here. Only a couple more. There comes an entire parade of marbles getting past. I think the defender is tired. Nope, still had a little bit of gas in it. Only a couple more. Do we maybe have a DNF somewhere? Looks like it. We just have to figure out which marble. Ah, it's Saudi Arabia. Stuck near the start of the track. Right, here's the finishing positions. Trying to look for your marble. How did they do? Did you score good points today? Or do you want to forget this race as quickly as possible? So with that, let's celebrate with the random fact of the day. Swedish lingo is very varied, with cool words like lagom, which means just the right amount, and husmanskost, which means household comfort food. With that, let's celebrate the Swedish podium of Comoros in third, Turkey in second, and your race winners, Sweden in first. Is Sweden back to its winning days of season 1, where they were very consistent and won the last race to take the championship in the clutch? We'll find out what this does to the standings real soon. Alright. All the scores are being calculated. The graphic is being prepared. And before you know it, it's here. Tajikistan is leading over Bonaire, and Norfolk Island drops 2. And we have Seagrey jumped by St. Lucia, Australia, Bolivia, Aruba, Kyrgyzstan, Venezuela, Sweden, North Korea, St. Martin, Singapore, Togo, Malta, Senegal, Angola, and Suriname. On the second page, we see jumps by Gambia, India, Ethiopia, Cyprus, Uruguay, North Macedonia, Turkey, Comoros, Wales, Bhutan, Japan, the St. Kitts and Nevis, and Zimbabwe. In the mid-pack we see jumps from France, from Norway, from Central African Republic, Timor-Leste, Lesotho, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Vietnam, Mauritania, Jordan, Georgia, Qatar, Liechtenstein, Moldova, Turks and Caicos Islands, Western Sahara, and Tanzania. Further down we see jumps from Wallis and Futuna, Belgium, Brazil, Mozambique, Hungary, American Samoa, England, Libya, Vanuatu, Israel, and Barbados. And at the final page we see jumps by Guinea-Bissau, Bermuda, Iraq, Bosnia-Herzegovina, Algeria, and Grenada. Mexico, Nepal, and Puerto Rico are still located at the bottom. Alright, that's race number 11, Copper Canyon. Thank you so much for your support. We'll be back for race number 12 really soon. Season 2 of the Ultimate Marble League is coming near an end. I hope you guys are enjoying it because this is a lot of work for us. If you're able to subscribe to our YouTube channel or join our Discord or anything for support, we'll be very thankful. See you next time.
Good seeing you all back for race number 12, Season 2 of the Ultimate Marble League in Medieval Mortis. Let's look at the current standings with Tajikistan leading over Bonaire and Norfolk Island all the way up to number 100, which is Cuba. Alright, before we start the race, there is a random fact of the day. Lithuanian is one of the oldest living Indo-European languages, preserving features remarkably close to Proto-Indo-European. Alright, here we go, Medieval Mortis. The marbles are ready. They're going to try to avoid the spinning axes, and they're off and they're fast. Oh my, Denmark is first out of the gates but gets teleported back up. Through the funnels, we do see Liechtenstein, we see Iran, Japan, Singapore, Dominican Republic, Faroe Islands, Qatar, Gambia. Which one will go down to the pachinkos first? I think it's Algeria over there. Central African Republic, Greenland. Which one is getting through the chute first? Well, nobody so far. Oh, it looks like it's Singapore. Maybe Singapore does gets it. Bosnia-Herzegovina was close. Comoros is second. Takes its second podium in a row. Very impressive. Good job, Comoros. Macau in third. And Guinea-Bissau in fourth. Fifth goes to Dominican Republic, who really needed the points. Sixth goes to Iran. Seventh to Bangladesh. Eighth to Kenya. Who's taking ninth? It is Egypt, and in 10th we have Cape Verde. Botswana in 11th, 12th for DR Congo, 13th for Denmark, 14th for El Salvador, 15th for Greenland, 16th Haiti, 17th Central African Republic, 18th Aruba, 19th Taiwan, 20th Liechtenstein, 21st Vanuatu, and 22nd Niue. That is the first column filled. Halfway towards the second column. Good points everywhere. But very impressive from Comoros. Being the second marble ever to to score 2 podiums in one season. No victories like Trinidad and Tobago, but still very impressive. Those are valid points. I wonder what that does to their standings. Alright, 2.5 columns filled. These types of cannons are generally quite difficult for our marbles. It often takes a couple of tries for marbles to finish. So these are generally the little bit longer videos. But it's also the tracks that could shake things up. Marbles that are a little bit behind have a chance to shoot up forward if they manage to get the shoot in one try. And that is the appeal for a lot of these marbles. Also, while you're still here, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and join our Discord where we have daily chats about basically everything. Alright, almost 5 columns filled. We're nearing the midway point. Bunch of marbles still needing to go back up. Maybe for season 3 we can make this a little bit faster, so instead they go upwards like this. Maybe we could teleport them up there. They can retry a little bit faster. And if there are any other suggestions you have for us, please contact us through email or even through a comment on the video. I can promise you we check everything. Alright, everything's speeding up for a little bit. Only 3 more columns needing to be filled. This should not take much longer. How well did your marble do? Do you still have a chance on victory? Do you still have a chance to compete on the top? At this moment, there's also a poll going on whether you want to see the Ultimate Marble League with 242 marbles, or rather see the marbles split into divisions. Whether it's 2 divisions, multiple divisions, make sure to vote in the poll. You can find the poll in the community section of YouTube. The final column is going to be filled. Do we see any marbles here that are normally in top contention? I think United Arab Emirates is one. That's a shame. Only a couple more marbles to finish. I believe we do have a few DNFs somewhere. Oh, as we say that, we can see Tonga is DNF'd over there. But I don't think they're the only one. Now we just wait for St. Martin. There goes St. Kitts and Nevis. And I believe the other marble is Ireland. They're taking their sweet time to finish. Sometimes these cannons don't really click with the marbles. They are really taking their time. Alright, there's Ireland, and there goes St. Martin. We skipped a little bit ahead. We see Benin and Hong Kong not finishing. That's a shame. Alright, these are our finishing positions for race number 12. While the podium celebrations are slowly starting, let's get into the random fact of the day for Singapore. Singapore is one of the world's greenest cities, with over 40% of its land covered in nature reserves, parks, and sky-rise greenery. Alright, let's go to our podium celebrations. For the third place position, Macau. Second place position, Comoros. And first place position, Singapore. Great jobs by all the marbles. It's also nice to see every single country and region of our beautiful green and blue earth represented in the Ultimate Marble League. Alright, podium celebrations are full on the way. The marbles are enjoying themselves. But we are moving to more important things, like the current standings. Let's check it out, what this does. Now we see that Bonaire is well in the lead over Tajikistan and San Marino. Norfolk Island fell out of the top 3. And we see big jumps from Singapore, Iran, Bangladesh, Nauru, Ethiopia, Palau, Albania, Bahamas, Yemen, and Comoros. It was a good finish for the podium finishers. Good job. Further down, we see big jumps from Portugal, DR Congo, Marshall Islands, Botswana, Jersey, Central African Republic, Kenya, Burundi, Macau, Fiji, Denmark, and Lesotho. In the mid-pack, we see big jumps from Liechtenstein, the Solomon Islands, Poland, Cocos Islands, Cape Verde, Haiti, Oman, Finland, Falkland Islands, Malawi, Antigua and Barbuda, Wallis and Fortuna, Netherlands, and Vanuatu. If we dig further down, we see jumps from Guinea-Bissau, Dominican Republic, Latvia, American Samoa, Guyana, Cayman Islands, Barbados, Lithuania, and Ukraine. And at the final page, we now see Peru all the way at the bottom. Mexico jumped one. But we see big jumps from Greenland, French Polynesia, Madagascar, Serbia, and Lebanon, and Namibia. See that Mongolia is slowly crawling back up, and they get out of the final page. Alright, that's race number 12 of the Ultimate Marble League Season 2, Medieval Mortis. I hope you guys had a fun time. I had, and maybe I'll see you all in our Discord. Alright, thank you for being here. Appreciate y'all, and see you for race number 13. Alright, thank you so much for being here for race number 13, Season 2 of the Ultimate Marble League. Thank you for being here. Let's get into it. Our current standings are that Bonaire is currently in first over Tajikistan and San Marino, all the way up to current place 100, France. Yes, race number 13 of 16, we're nearing the end. Let's have our random fact of the day, shall we? Icelanders use geothermal energy to heat most of their homes and buildings. I had no idea. Alright, welcome to Tempest Teleports, where we have a lot of cannons and marbles are being divided in 4 groups. If they get through one section, they will be put in the next one. After that, they need to get past this one to get into the final section, to head to the finish line. A couple of marbles have made it to the second section incredibly fast, and now I even see a couple of marbles heading into the final section. This must be a record time. But no marble is finishing yet. They're all missing their target. Except for Barbados and Kazakhstan and Bulgaria. Very good job. Bangladesh takes 5th. 6 goes to Latvia. 7 to Anguilla. 8 to Grenada. Do we have a 9th place finisher? Yes, we do, in Czech Republic. 10th goes to Romania. 11 to New Zealand. 12 to St. Kitts and Nevis. 13 to Mali. 14 Vietnam. 15 to Laos. 16 Falkland Islands. 17 Yemen. 18th Antigua and Barbuda. 19th Peru. 20th Japan. 21st Poland. 22nd Argentina. And like that, we almost have 2 columns filled. Marbles are getting in there. They're trying to do the best they can because they have been through a couple of cannons before, but timing is still very difficult. It's crucial, accuracy is crucial, and a lot of points are on the line if you finish early. Even if you're not the fastest marble around, this is a good moment to turn your season around. Alright, so almost 4 columns are filled. Marbles are still moving up and down. And I believe a couple of marbles are still stuck into the second section. See, a couple of marbles are stuck underneath the swing, but due to new marbles coming in, they are freed. This is a dangerous hazard, which may need to be looked at in future Ultimate Marble League events. Stewards, take note. Alright, almost 6 columns are filled. Multiple marbles are very happy with their finishing positions, and a couple of marbles that are still working to get their finish are a little bit stressed. Maybe they feel the championship is slipping away from their fingers. Maybe they want to get away from the bottom places and want to show what they're able to do. But the competition is high, there are a lot of marbles, and it's very difficult to prove yourself. That said, this is a friendly competition, and all the marbles are really supporting each other. Still, they want to lift that trophy at the end of the season, like last year Sweden did. Near the end point of race number 13, a couple of marbles are still trying their best to get a few points in the bag to avoid getting their name in orange and red, to be completely eliminated from title chances, which is not where any of these marbles practice so hard into doing. They want to go back to their hometown, being an absolute hero, a hero of their country. But only one can be champion of Season 2. Who will it be while we almost enter our final column, our final 22 marbles to finish? Not a lot of points on the board for here, but still it could be crucial. Imagine losing the championship by just 1 point. Every single point is crucial. Always speed up a little bit, so we don't want to waste your time too much. We pan back up and we see Lesotho and Maldives currently stuck up there, and 2 other marbles still needing to get through. Although I do believe one of them just made it to the final section, as I see Cameroon finish, I see Nicaragua finish. Yes, indeed, only 1 more marble moving in the second sector and only 1 more marble moving in the third. Oh, both of them are now in the final sector. Let's hope they finish quickly so we can wrap race number 13 up and get to the random fact of the day for our winner. Barbados, the podium finishers, and then the current standings. One more marble to go. All right, let's wrap this up, shall we? Maybe one more try. Okay, this is the last one then. There we go. All right, these are our finishing positions of all our marbles that did finish, or the 2 that DNF'd in the second sector. Congratulations to all the marbles. I hope they are happy with their finishing positions. And with that, let's slowly, while we hear that these podium celebrations have started, we're gonna take a good look at our random fact of the day of our winner, Barbados. Mount Gay Distillery in Barbados traces its roots back to 1703, making it the oldest continuously operating commercial rum distillery in the world. Alright, cool. Here's our podium celebrations. Of course, with 3rd place position Bulgaria, 2nd place position Kazakhstan, and 1st place position Barbados. 3 very pretty and very unique flags currently on the podium. How beautiful is our world, right? Alright, the marbles are popping the champagne while we are going to take a look at the current standings after race number 13, Tempest Teleport. 3 more races remaining after this one. What could happen? Well, you just have to keep tuning in to see. Alright, let's take a look. Egypt is now in the lead over Bonaire and Anguilla, who jumped 16. Very impressive. Furthermore, we see big jumps from Trinidad and Tobago, Bulgaria, Argentina, Senegal, St. Martin, and Faroe Islands. One page down, we see big jumps from Mali, Transnistria, Japan, Romania, Vatican City, Kazakhstan, Poland, New Zealand, Falkland Islands, Antigua and Barbuda, Qatar, St. Kitts and Nevis. In the mid-pack, we see big jumps from Gabon, Latvia, Barbados, Timor-Leste, St. Vincent and the Grenadines, Vietnam, Cambodia, Vanuatu, Paraguay, Liberia, South Ossetia, and Cayman Islands. A little bit further down, we see jumps from Lithuania, Israel, Kosovo, Azerbaijan, Greece, Canada, Italy, Slovakia, Northern Mariana Islands, Thailand, Eritrea, British Virgin Islands, and Bermuda. And further down we see the first marbles in orange and in red. Unfortunately, they're unable to win Season 2 of the Ultimate Marble League. Those in orange still have a chance to end up on the podium. And furthermore, we see jumps from Laos and Grenada. Alright, that was race 13. A lot more marbles are going to be eliminated from title chances in race 14. Who are those going to be? You gotta keep checking in. Subscribe to the Ultimate Marble League. Join our Discord. Let's have a fun time, shall we? Alright, see you next time. Alright, welcome back to race number 14. We're in the end game now. Welcome back at Glacier Falls. Before we start, let's check our top 100 of the standings, with Egypt in first, Bonaire in second, Anguilla in third, all the way up to spot number 100, Uruguay. We can't start the race without talking about the random fact of the day, so let's do exactly that. Suriname has one of the most ethnically diverse populations in the world, including African, Indian, Indonesian, Indigenous, Chinese, and European communities. Each group has preserved key parts of its cultural identity. Right, here we are. Race number 14, Glacial Falls. A lot can happen here. Precision is key. Speed is also one. I see Senegal is up there, but look at Barbados. Are they going to take it back to back? Fortunately not. Is that Tajikistan? Is Tajikistan going to win this one with Liechtenstein in second? They are. Incredible result by Tajikistan. This will surely jump them up back into the standings once again. And Liechtenstein, who really had a slump for a few races, really need this finish. Also, their second podium of season 2. Very impressive, very impressive. Furthermore, we have Montserrat in third, Japan in fourth, Jordan in fifth, Sabah in sixth, 7th for Venezuela, 8th for New Zealand, 9th Jamaica, 10th Curacao, 11th Bangladesh. Very consistent, by the way, Bangladesh. 12th for Nauru, 13th Wales, 14th Pakistan, 15th Saint Martin, 16th Bermuda, 17th South Korea, 18th Mexico, 19th Iran, 20th Zimbabwe, 21st British Virgin Isles, and 22nd Lesotho. And before you know it, in Glacial Falls, we have 4 to 5 columns filled already. With the sheer amount of marbles, bouncing on the trampolines is a little bit difficult. It's looking kind of like a wave of marbles trying to stampede over it. But a bunch of impressive marbles are able to jump their way across the hurdles. Alright, we are well over halfway there. More and more marbles are making the jump across. And before you know it, the race will be over. Jumping is not really our marbles forte, but regardless, still a lot of marbles are able to make it through. Ooh, there goes Trinidad and Tobago with another mediocre finish. This pretty much sums up their season 1 as well. Very high highs, but also a lot of lows. Still, maybe in the final 2 races they get a chance, but they need to be at their very best. Only 2 more columns need to be filled. More and more marbles are making the jump the way it's supposed to be doing. There they go. Final column to be filled right now. Only 2 more marbles needing to make the jump. Being Bosnia-Herzegovina, who makes the jump right now. And finally, it'll be Brazil. Disappointing finish of Brazil, who's generally very consistent. Even scoring a podium this season. That's a nice way to get across. Alright, that rounds up race number 14. The national anthem of Tajikistan has been playing. While we look at the finishing positions of race number 14. Take a good look at all the marbles. How well did they finish? Before we head to our podium celebrations, it's customary to look at the random fact of the day of a winner, Tajikistan. The official language of Tajikistan is Tajik, a variety of Persian written in the Cyrillic script. Russian is also widely used in government and business. Alright, this is our podium. Montserrat, Liechtenstein, and Tajikistan. As before mentioned, this is the second time Liechtenstein is on the podium this season. Very impressive and very well done. Montserrat, who's been in the final page of the current standings. They really needed a score like this, but at this time of the season, will that make a difference? And as we all know, Tajikistan is a forerunner. This could really help their title chances again. And it's their very first victory in the Ultimate Marble League. Alright, the scores are calculated. Let's take a look. Bangladesh, being so consistent, is now first, with Tajikistan jumping 16 places to go back into the top 3. Bonaire once again drops one spot into third right now. Furthermore, we see nice jumps from St. Martin, Japan, and Liechtenstein. At the second page, we see jumps from New Zealand, Indonesia, France, Barbados, Tonga, Curaçao, Zimbabwe, Djibouti, and Wales. In the mid-pack, we see jumps from Uganda, Jordan, Lesotho, Wallis and Fortuna, Cayman Islands, and now the orange and red fields have made it to the mid-pack. Even though United States, Zambia, Northern Cyprus, Finland, Lithuania, Northern Ireland, Germany, Guinea-Bissau, Greece, South Korea, Dominican Republic, and South Africa have made jumps, they are unable to win Season 2. Just to round up the statistics, we see jumps from Jamaica, Thailand, Kuwait, British Virgin Isles, Cookland, Bermuda, and at the bottom we see now Honduras, Bosnia-Herzegovina, and Tunisia. We see jumps here and there by Montenegro, Niger, and Russia. That is race number 14 of the Ultimate Marble League Season 2 from Glacier Falls. Thank you so much for being here. Join our Discord, subscribe to our channel, and I'll see you all for the final 2 races coming really soon. Thank you for being here. Goodbye. I can't believe it's the penultimate race of Season 2 already. Race number 15, Crisscross Crossing of the Ultimate Marble League. Let's check the standings with Bangladesh in the lead over Tajikistan and Bonaire. All of these marbles still have a shot all the way up to spot number 100, Sri Lanka. That's about to change after race number 15, but first here's a random fact of the day. The official language of Greenland is Greenlandic, Kalaallisut, an Inuit language. Danish is also widely spoken. Alright, here we go. Crisscross Crossing. The marbles are off. See, Greenland is in there. A lot of marbles are descending down right now, with Monaco, Switzerland, Puerto Rico, and Pakistan in there. But there is a cascade of marbles. It's a guessing game which marble will get out of these sections first. It does seem to be Switzerland. I see Japan is over there in Myanmar. Which marble can get through this? I see Chad. I see Mozambique. It's a 2, maybe 3 marble fight between Chad, Hong Kong, Myanmar. St. Kitts and Nevis are relatively close by, but we need to pick up the pace. Chad is extending their lead. Japan is on their heels. It's going to be between Chad and Japan. Sending down the Pachinkos towards the very narrow finish line. Narrowest finish line we have all season, but it doesn't fade Chad, who gets first place, who gets second. It's Myanmar, and third place is Liechtenstein out of nowhere. Very impressive. The first marble who has 3 podiums in the Ultimate Marble League in one season. Very impressive. Very well done, Liechtenstein. Alright, the spinners are helping the marbles progress towards the finish line. Marbles are shaking a little bit like a ship. And 3 columns have been filled. Positioning is very key here, and also a little bit of luck, because the marbles are being thrown around constantly. That said though, the marbles are finishing very fast. We have well over 100 marbles finished right now, and they keep coming in. We are well over 50% right now. While a lot of marbles are struggling to get in there, other marbles are able to wait to sneak their way by, thanks to the spinners. And of course, we are curious what this will do to the standings. As we see a lot of different marbles in the top columns, this will bring the pack a lot closer once again. We're almost at the final column. Which marbles are gonna be at the back, costing precious points. I see Bonaire in the final column, which is very devastating for them. Republic of the Congo is in there. That's pretty bad. Pretty painful. Afghanistan is losing a lot of points. And now we're just waiting for the final 5 marbles. We do see a couple of marbles still up there. We're waiting for them to finish. This is a nice overview to see their progress. 3 more marbles remaining, meaning every marble is likely to finish unless something weird must happen here. Alright, 2 more marbles remaining. One of them still at the top, having some difficulties with the gravity switch. Taking a sweet time. Let's check which marble this is. It looks like it's Serbia. Serbia is not eligible for a podium or a victory, so they just decide to take the spotlights for themselves a little bit. Even though that does not bring them any points, it does give them some screen time. Alright, these are our finishing positions, with their top 10 being Slovenia, Sri Lanka, Thailand, Nigeria, Nauru, St. Pierre and Miquelon, Japan, and your podium finishers coming real soon. Here's a random fact of the day. Agriculture and livestock are important economic activities in Chad. Many people are involved in farming and herding in rural areas. Right, this is your podium. Liechtenstein, Myanmar, and in first place, Chad. Congratulations to the podium finishers and all the other marbles who managed to grab a bunch of good points. And so much for Chad's national anthem. Results are being calculated. It's time for the results of Crisscross Crossing. With only 23 marbles yet able to win Season 2. 40 that can only podium. But it's most important to look at the top standings, with Venezuela leading over Norfolk Island and Bangladesh. Great jumps by Nauru, Japan, Niue, Liechtenstein and DR Congo, who managed to still have a chance after today's race. Strong contenders like Trinidad and Tobago, Sweden, that are unfortunately unable to win. However, they can still make it onto the final podium. Alright, these are our top 50 finishers. For the sake of completion, we are going to check every single page, even though none of these marbles can still win Season 2 of the Ultimate Marble League. That does include a couple of surprises, like Republic of the Congo, the Philippines, Australia, Argentina, but still they are still top in the standings. Here we have the mid-pack, with jumps everywhere and marbles are falling down. It's the penultimate page. And here's the final page. Honduras in last position over Bosnia and Ireland. Tunisia and Mexico made it up a few spaces. Alright, and that is the penultimate race of Season 2 of the Ultimate Marble League, Crisscross Crossing. Thank you so much for being here. I hope to see you all at the premiere of race number 16, the final of Season 2. Which marble will take victory? I'll see you there. And finally, here we are for race number 16 of the Ultimate Marble League in Archway. Let's check the final standings before the final race. Venezuela is leading over Norfolk Island and Bangladesh, and all the way up to Aruba. Marbles can podium, and up until DR Congo, they still have a chance to win. All of the other marbles, unfortunately, cannot win or podium, so they're just here to do their best. Here's a random fact of the day. Canada has more lakes than any other country in the world, holding a significant portion of the planet's fresh water. These lakes play an important role in both nature and daily life. Alright, Archway, marbles are ready. We're about to speed things up, going through Archway as fast as possible. We see St. Vincent and the Grenadines leading over Micronesia and Albania. And they're the first one to get into the chute and upside down, followed by Macau. I thought I saw Macau. We see Albania over here. Albania is having a neck-and-neck fight with St. Vincent and Grenadines, but out of nowhere we see Jordan. And Jordan, oh my, Jordan is fast. Can anyone even catch up with Jordan? This is the fastest I've seen a marble descend there. And they take first place. Very well done with Jordan. Second place by Sin Martin. And third place by Albania. Marbles are finishing left and right very fast. And don't forget, at the end of the race, we will have a special celebration and a highlight of every single marble with their points scored and finishing positions. We've worked very hard setting this all up, so it would be nice if you could stick to the end of the video. Alright, half of the marbles have been finished. We see them descending over the blocks. We're closing in on the finish line now, so we can see the final 40-ish marbles finish. Only one more column remaining. A couple of marbles who are somewhat in contention, but are falling out right now. This was their final chance. And it all depends on the statistics leaders on how they finish this race. To have any marble underneath them have a chance. We see there's only 2 more marbles remaining. And here is the final one, Turkey. Let's follow Turkey while they falling through Archway. Not getting the U-turn that perfectly. Good descend. But for no points, unfortunately. Alright. These are finishing positions. In 10th place, Tajikistan. 9th place, Finland. 8th place, Lithuania. 7th, Azerbaijan. 6th, Liberia. 5th, Bermuda. 4th, Spain. Before we go to the podium, let's have our winners random fact of the day. The ancient city of Petra is one of Jordan's most famous landmarks. It is carved into rock and is recognized as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Alright, while the national anthem of Jordan is playing, we welcome our podium finishers in Albania, Saint Martin, and our winner, Jordan. Congratulations in being the final podium of the season. Will this help your chances? We're gonna find out. Here's our finishing event. No votes over this event. Congratulations to a winner, Norfolk Island. Very impressively done by the marble from Norfolk Island, beating everybody and stopping the competition. And here you can see all of the finishing marbles. Congratulations to Norfolk Island, and thank you for watching the Ultimate Marble League Season 2. We'll be back with Season 2 of the Premier League, the First Division, and the Second and Third Division. Subscribe to us for a lot of marble content and join our Discord.